Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of On the DL. My name is Danielle.
And I'm Linda.
Hello. How are you?
Bitch, I was fucking hungover as fuck last night.
Still?
Danielle, it took me 24 hours to get over my hangover. You know when people say, they're like, oh, wait till you turn 30. Oh, wait till you get older. Yeah, whatever. It hit me like a bus.
Bitch, wait till you turn 40.
No, I don't know how you even drink, period. Because I had 2.5 drinks on Saturday. 2.5 drinks. That's it. I woke up still drunk. And I tried to go to Pilates class, but I was still drunk. So when she was like, oh, grab, blah, 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 she like listed all the things to grab. And I got there a little late because, again, I was still drunk and I was scared I was going to get pulled over for like drunk driving at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I go and I look and there's only one ball left and it was deflated. So I was like, fuck, okay, no ball for me during this Pilates class, whatever. So
Is
I go
that
take
important? Is a ball important?
It was during this class because half of the entire movements were with a ball. So she noticed that I didn't have a ball. The instructor, and she like turned around. She's like, do you need a ball? You can take mine. I was like, no, it's fine. I look over to the wall with like all of the props and stuff. There was a whole other level filled with like inflated balls. And I was like, oh, fuck. I continued that entire class. I pushed through. When we did downward dog, I just was like, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up. I had obviously brunch with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally had not even a fourth of my burger. And I was like, I need to go home. I slept for 4 hours.
Did
Knocked out cold 4 full hours. I only know that because like my watch, like it notices when I take a nap or something. Bitch, I woke up and I ordered Mexican food from probably, like the money laundering Mexican place that has like the best Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went right back to bed.
Good for you.
I woke up this morning. I was like, well, at least the migraine's gone. I was like, I still feel weak, but I'm like 2.5 drinks. And that's what did it. You know what I realized though? I didn't eat on Saturday. I had a protein bar.
I like can't relate to people that forget to eat. I'm sorry.
I always
Somebody would
forget to
die.
eat.
Someone would die. Someone would catch these
See,
hands.
I'm not the type of person that gets like really angry when I'm hungry. And if I
Oh.
do get angry when I'm hungry, it's because I'm like genuinely hungry.
Oh, no,
Otherwise,
no,
I don't care.
pissed. I get hangry. I watch out.
No, I'm not like that. My sister's like that. The second she says, I'm hungry, you have a 20-minute window to feed her. Otherwise, she will lash out on you.
Yeah, you're done. You're going down.
I could not relate to that. I'm like, oh, I haven't eaten since 2 days ago. I should probably eat something. Yeah, it was so bad. I can't. Oh, my God. I'm like, if this is what my life is, like going forward now in my 30s, like drinking, I think I'm going to go back to not drinking because that was rough. I also don't have like a day off until the end of this month. So that was my only day off for 2 weeks. And I spent it in bed. And I'm really upset about it. I'm still really upset about it. I'm still thinking about it. I was so upset.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Way better than I was last week because last week, let me tell you, I was unhinged. I mean, you guys, if you heard the episode.
Yeah.
That was like very tame.
Mm.
You know, I was very calmly explaining what was going on, and probably because I had gone to therapy earlier that day. So I was able to articulate a little bit better instead of screaming, crying, and throwing up.
And shitting. Ew.
Oh, but it's good. So this week there's a couple of things. Like Linda always texts me. She's like, what are we talking about? And I'm like, I have like a plethora of things that I have to like talk about because like I'm just like in it too much. I'm like so nosy. I like want to know what's going on. And then if I see like a little glimpse of something, I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah, what is this?
So one thing that I did want to talk about is the great blockout of 2024.
What is that?
So obviously we know that there has been a lot of, I'm trying to be diplomatic here, I probably shouldn't, conflict going on with Palestine, Israel, the Gaza, Gaza Strip, whatever, how they're very literally decimating these people because, and they're saying it's because, you know, the terrorist group Hamas, and they want to, you know, they did this and you know, like they started it, but it's literally been like 7 months of Israel just bombing the fuck out of this teeny,
wiping an entire
tiny
population out.
Pretty much, like thousands, tens of thousands of residents of Palestine. Doesn't matter, women, children, babies. Like it's heartbreaking, like to see it. So what everyone's doing now is like, all right, we're looking at these celebrities, these influencers that have millions of followers, right? And they're singling out the people that are not talking about it, that are not trying to bring awareness, that are not being like ceasefire. Like the Met Gala was last week.
Yeah.
And, you know, like Met Gala is like a gross, like form of showing like the elite and the wealthy. It's like a 70.
Literally. That's why everybody's like, oh, the Met. I'm like, I don't understand why we let this still happen.
Like it's ridiculous.
How we still let the Met Gala get away with what they get away with.
$75,000 a ticket. And
That's
I get it.
disgusting.
It's a fundraiser for the Met. You know, we want to preserve, you know, art and art history. And, you know, it's a museum. Like, obviously, you know, they need funding, of course. Like, but this is just an excuse for these super elite people just to basically show off how wealthy they are.
Literally.
So anyways, this blockout thing is they're looking at people like Kim Kardashian. Who was it? And I love her, Lana Del Rey, people that were on the red carpet, people that are literally like are eating, drinking, and being merry while there's all this shit going on. Obviously, it's not like at our doorstep, but I feel like it's only a matter of time before this kind of this shit spills out everywhere. Because well, where's the end game here? Like, where are we stopping? So the blockout is a list of celebrities that you are just going to block, not unfollow, just straight up block them. So there's no way that they can come into your feed, because the only thing we as normies the only power that we have is to
not follow them,
to take away our attention.
Yeah.
Like not pay attention to them, because like when we pay attention, they make money. They make more money. They make money off of us. They make money off of the links that they give us. They make money off the views, whatever. And it's like just not a good time to be flaunting what they're flaunting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know Kim Kardashian's like at the top. Like actually the entire Kardashian Jenner clan is at the top. There's like a whole list.
Well, I feel like it's a very sticky situation, because you have, you know, people can label you as something. I mean, this happened in 2020 as well. You know what I mean? The same thing was happening at our doorstep. It did happen at our doorstep, obviously not to this degree, but so it's a little tricky, because, you know, who has control over these celebrities? You know what I mean? So that's where it gets like a little tricky.
Yeah. I think,
because even if Kim Kardashian wants to say free Palestine, she's not going to.
No, because I feel like a lot of people that are saying free Palestine get labeled as like anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Which is not what it is.
We're
just standing up for humanity, just like how we did in 2020. But continue.
Yeah. And I honestly, I'm not as educated as I should be. I do know that like what's going on there is totally wrong, and I'm like,
but it's also been going on for a lot longer than.
Yes, but it's just seemed to be like it's like the tipping point now, because I feel like, and I had this conversation. I don't remember who I had this conversation with, but I had it with somebody, and I was like, you know, the actions of Hamas, like they like kind of like gave power to them, and I feel like the way that they did it, that's the only, it's like desperation. People don't just do that.
Yeah.
Like, and if you think about people that have been oppressed for decades, are like, enough is enough.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of the reason why they came at them the way that they did. And I mean, they literally kind of just like poked the bear.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, we also fund Israel. So
yeah, that's a whole other thing. So again, I don't want to like speak totally on it. I mean, because like again, I need more. I need to know more. I don't want to just like talk on my ass about this. This is like you know, really important shit. But that's what the blockout is about. So any celebrity, influencer, that has not opened their mouth about these atrocities that are going on. They're like, just fucking block them because they're not, what are they doing for you? They're literally selling you shit.
Yeah, literally.
And they're relying on us to buy their shit so they make more money.
Is this all over TikTok? Where is this?
It is on TikTok. There's a whole website that's dedicated to it.
Oh, wow.
And then there's like the same website will give you like links where you can donate to GoFundMe's for the people of Palestine. And,
Gotcha.
you know, there's like a whole, there's like a whole machine that's working for it. But I just thought that was like worth talking about, that maybe, don't follow or, just block these people. And it's like, you see these very calculated and timed posts when all this shit's starting to go down, when we're talking about blocking people. And then you notice like Hailey Bieber like announces her pregnancy.
Yeah.
Don't block me, I'm pregnant. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they need us.
No, they literally
to look. They need us to watch. They need us to to fund their lives. Period.
Literally. Yeah.
Period. So if you see like, well, she's just one that I can think of off the top of my head, but like other people that will like come out with these things and like just to kind of distract. It's all about distraction and redirection, I guess.
No, for sure.
Don't look at the block list. Look at me and I'm my baby bump.
Yeah. I mean, that's like since the beginning of time, like you said, their whole entire career and life depend on
us. 1,000,000%. And then also, I went down a rabbit hole.
When don't you go down a rabbit hole?
I don't even know where to start.
I'm going to start calling you Bunny.
Okay, so I think that a lot of, I just recently learned about these two, which made me learn about other two, and then another two, and then some more people. The Conjoined twins.
You have been wanting to talk about this?
Because
I have questions.
I have a lot of questions.
And I need to sit down with, do you refer to them as them?
Yeah, them.
Them.
Because it's the two of them. They're twins. Yeah. They're twins. They just happen to be connected.
Yeah.
Okay. Abby and Brittany Hensel. So they got famous because they went on the Oprah Winfrey show, I think in 96.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is a while ago. They, I don't know. 34.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So they're 34. So they were born in 1990. Yeah.
Yeah.
The math is math.
Yeah. Because I'm 94. So, and I just turned 30. So that makes sense.
So they went on the Oprah Winfrey show, and they were talking. Now, the way that they are conjoined, everything that's above their waist is separate. So they've got 2 hearts, 2 sets of lungs, and then when you go below the waist, everything kind of starts to mesh together. Now,
that is fucking wild.
I know it's a lot for me to wrap my head around. And now one sister controls one arm and the other sister controls the other arm. And same thing with the legs. Okay?
Wait a minute. So what was it like learning to walk?
I mean, if you were born that way, I'm sure that...
You're always using one arm.
I'm sure that they... Anyway, so they were on the Oprah Winfrey show, and then they had their own TV show on TLC.
I remember that.
And okay,
that I do remember.
I read all these things, then I immediately forget, so I have to go back and relook at stuff. So they live in Minnesota now. They went to college. They graduated. They work.
Did they graduate with the same degree?
Yeah.
I mean, they had to, right?
I mean, I'm sure they could have.
Imagine
degrees. They have 2 brains. They have 2 heads. They have 2 brains.
Well, imagine one wanted to go into law, and the other one wanted to go into medicine. The other one had to sit in on medical classes, while the other one had to sit into law classes. Oh my gosh!
Maybe that's something that they had to
compromise.
Talk about. They decided to be school teachers.
Okay, fair enough.
So now they are 2 separate people. They have their own social security numbers. They both had to take their driver's license test. So they have their They each have their driver's license. I know it's a lot.
What the fuck?
It's a lot, and but oddly enough,
It was like it pulled over. She was driving, not me.
They both had to take the test.
Brittany was speeding, not me.
It wasn't me.
She has the foot.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. That I don't know, Abby. No, Brittany.
Abby has to drive because she has the right foot.
Yeah. She's, they both steer and one has to control the gas and the brake.
That
See,
is
like my wheels, they're just turning.
Wow.
And
I'm trying to imagine that. Okay, that makes sense as to why they need 2 licenses then. Because only half of your body's operating the car. The other half is someone else. That's fucking crazy, Danielle. Literally only half of your body is controlling the car. The other half is controlled by somebody else. Is that fucking crazy? You have to trust the other person that much. Why are you on your phone? Break.
I like this is going to get bad quickly. So
Sorry.
now the controversy. I don't want to say controversy because they're 2 women,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When they did interviews back when they were like 16 years old, they ask, are you going to have kids? Would you like to have kids? They're like, of course we're going to be mothers. We just don't know how that's going to work.
Right.
So they both want to have kids. And so now the big thing is, and I'm sure that they probably kept this under wraps for as long as they did because people are going to come out and ask questions.
Yeah.
But it's Abby. Yeah. So Abby married her boyfriend. Okay. So they got married in 2021. Now this is just coming out just like within a few months. Like it's been very recently that they actually confirmed that yes,
she's married.
There's like wedding video. It's actually really cute.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, the question on everyone's mind is, what do they do on their honeymoon?
How are they having sex?
That's it.
I think it'd be considered a threesome. I really want to know what the other one's doing. Does she put earplugs in?
Okay.
Does she put headphones on? Does she join? Is that incest?
I don't
You're
know.
fucking your brother-in-law.
I think
What
that
is happening?
I think it has to be very nuanced. If there's got to be probably boundaries, probably some talk, or
you start having an affair.
Maybe they're in a throuble. We don't know because they're not.
You kind of are.
They're not coming out and saying this because number one, it's not our business, right? It's not our business.
No.
Like what the fuck they do,
no.
But we want to know, and of course, it's like the most crass thing that we want to know. Well, how do you guys have sex?
Yeah.
Like, are you having sex with both of them?
Did they
what is
come
it?
out and tell us what it's like?
So there was a tweet that came out in March. Yes, it's March of 2024. And it says, and I'm just going to read the tweet.
Okay.
All right. And it says, because everyone is asking, we're just going to tell you. Yes, I have sex with my husband. Yes, I go down on him. Yes, my sister Brittany is there. Yes, my sister and I orgasm as one. But when I sleep with my husband, she's usually reading a book or listening to a true crime podcast. So she just puts the pleasure out of her mind.
No.
Your face. So,
oh my God.
Upon further investigation, that was actually a fake tweet. It wasn't real. She didn't actually post it, but everyone assumed it was her because they're the Twitter handle or whatever, and it was 2 heads are better than one. We just all assumed that it was, but it was fake. It came out that
I would
that was
100% fucking fall for that too.
A lot of people fell for it, and they were like, "Oh my God, look at this! She's coming out and she's saying that all this."
She's reading a book.
She's
True
reading a
crime podcast.
With the
Her
headphones.
head was cut off. Her legs were cut off. While your sister's giving her husband head. What? Okay.
Again, we don't know for sure.
Okay, so then here's the thing. When they get pregnant, you're just going to have to assume. Imagine the other one gets married too and they're always having sex. whose child is it? It's technically both of theirs? Because it's one uterus.
Yes. So
There's one
since
vagine.
everything is since everything is connected below the waist, maybe it's like one. You know how your ovaries release one egg every month and it alternates?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that is
They
how
have
they
to like go
could
and like
do
track it. It's like, okay, so next period's going to be you. Next
Yeah.
period's gonna be
I
you.
mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of mechanics involved in that kind of stuff. But again,
Because I mean, if you run DNA, they share.
they're the same. They have the same DNA. They're essentially, I guess, identical twins that just didn't. Because that's what it is. Like,
yeah.
the conjoined twins are, it's like one, what is that called? A zygote, like when it's a fertilized egg.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's twins, what it does is it separates. And that's how you get identical twins, right?
Yeah.
So the egg didn't fully separate.
Gotcha.
So that's why, I mean, there was some other famous conjoined twins that actually they passed away, I think, this year.
Oh, that's so sad.
They were attached at the head. Do you remember?
Oh, yes.
And one had like the wheelchair, the other one had to push around. I forgot their names. Do you know that they were the first conjoined twins? Just fun fact. Not a fun fact. They were both women, but one transitioned.
Oh, wow.
One transitioned into
because they were only attached to the head.
at the head.
Okay.
So,
I remember reading, because I remember seeing that and I was like, wait, what? And they said in order to separate them, it was like life threatening.
Well, because they those ones that were attached at the head, they shared like some very vital like blood vessels and 30% of their brain.
Oh, wow.
So to separate them would have been,
they would have passed away.
Yeah, and I think that they had looked into separating these ones, and they said one of them wouldn't have survived. So it's kind of like, all right, we're gonna let them do their thing.
Yeah.
But that seems to be making the rounds where everyone, like every single TikTok that I saw on,
it's curious
is
to
like,
know what's going on.
They're
in the
like,
bedroom.
yo, they got one coochie, so like, but like, whose coochie is it? It's like it's like so. I mean, it's kind of like. It's kind of rude.
It is so rude.
Like, and I'm trying to
Oh, even the way that I'm like asking these questions, it's rude. And I'm sure that anybody, like a doctor were to come and sit on this podcast, they'd be like, you guys are terrible people. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue making jokes and I have more questions. I
mean, these are questions that, like, again, they're not coming on they're not answering them. But like in my rabbit hole of looking at these particular conjoined twins, I found another pair of conjoined twins.
The same way.
Kind of.
Okay.
And they actually, I almost fell off my chair. I was like, they live in Connecticut.
Oh.
I was like, wow. They were born in Mexico.
Okay.
Came to Connecticut. And so funny, the guy that is running the studio went to school with them.
Yeah. Oh, okay, those ones, yeah.
Yes. Lupita and Carmen.
Lupita.
Kind of the same thing, above the waist, but they're, whereas Brittany and Abby kind of like they share like a whole, like a chest, and it's kind of like two heads coming out of the shoulders. We'll have to like show pictures or whatever I'm talking about. Lupita and Carmen, they both have their own arms, so they're more like
they have their own torsos, or they're attached to the torso.
They're kind of attached to the torso, so they're kind of like, when you look at them, they're kind of like split this way, but they both have two arms, whereas Brittany and Abby,
that must
only
cause
have
like spine, like y'all gotta get massages a lot, and neck.
Another fact about the Lupita and Carmen, they're little. Like one of them's like 4'11", and the other one's like 4'8" or something. Like they're teeny little people.
They're
like,
literally was there snookies?
Oh yeah, they're little.
Snickies.
And they are, if you follow them on TikTok, they're funny because they just give zero fucks.
I love that for them.
And like with all of this coming out with like Abby and Brittany, like Abby getting married, they're getting tagged in like a lot of shit. And they're like, I don't understand why you guys are tagging us in all this shit. It literally has nothing to do with us. You just like want to know how they have sex. She's like, it's fucked up. Like, because they don't care.
Yeah.
And they're young. They're like in their early 20s.
Yeah.
But I did hear, I don't know if it was Lupita or Carmen that said this, but she had said, she goes, if you guys are so curious, she goes, when we had endometriosis, we both felt that fucking pain. So do with that information what you will.
Oh.
So they're talking about like you share the same like reproductive organs. You're gonna feel all.
You're gonna feel it all.
You're gonna feel it. So that question is kind of answered. Like, yes, they're they're both going to
Yeah.
feel it. I don't know.
So then with the other pair, the other one must feel it as well. She can't be just reading a book. Because then what?
Well, like
Wait,
in the,
I just
in the,
okay.
in
The wheels. I'm
the
like,
wheels are
hold
turning.
on.
The wheels are turning.
Oh
Like
my
maybe
God, I
she
need
could
to
be.
answer this.
Maybe she knows how to meditate. I don't know.
Yeah, because then it would take away from the other one because it's one vision.
But they have two different brains. It's from your brain. Like your brain sends signals to all parts of your body telling it to either feel pain, to feel like your brain is doing it all.
Our sister's like, can you please get into it because I'm trying to orgasm.
Oh, God.
Can you please get it together? We haven't orgasmed in 4 days. Let's go. Sorry.
But we don't know. Again, we don't know for sure like what their deal is. Like, yes, he is legally married to Abby, and from what I understand, Brittany had or has a boyfriend.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure about that.
Imagine she's in a
legally-
relationship with like somebody who is like super insecure, and he's like, "You're not watching, are you?
Your eyes.
You're cheating on me."
Your eyes better be closed. Is that
Your eyes
is that
better
considered
be-
micro cheating? Like, let's talk about that. Like, what is that?
I think those are the only pair that can get away with micro cheating.
Yeah. But so like from legally saying you can only be married to one person
Okay.
legally in
Well,
in
they have their
the
own
United
Social
States.
Security.
So, but if
Wait,
he's
so then what
married
about
to,
the Mormons? Aren't Mormons like married to like multiple women?
like they're married like in front of God, but not legally on paper.
Not
Le-
this is new information.
Legally speaking, you're not
For me.
allowed. You're not allowed to be. You cannot be married to more than one person at a time legally. Like in the eyes of God, that's a whole
Wow.
other story. That's between you and the Lord.
Yeah.
Like you just
you and the good Lord.
It's between you and the Lord. But so there was speculation, and this is just because people like, when we roll through these, and it's not a conspiracy theory, but like when we're rolling through these theories, we're saying, well, maybe he is low key married to both of them, but legally only married to one.
Oh.
So it might be, but I don't know this. I don't know this because
Yeah.
I don't know these women. Like I don't know what they
No.
do, but they, I'm sure they get questioned. They put their whole lives on TV.
I was gonna say they were on TLC.
when they were growing up.
Yeah.
Actually, another thing, like I said, the Lupita and Carmen, they're funny. They're like, it feels like you guys are tagging us in these things. You want us to answer all these questions. She's like, it's kind of exploitative. Like we're exploiting. He goes, and she's like, you guys are kind of like TLC because, like, they exploited those other twins. She's like, we're not trying to deal with your shit.
Yeah,
Like, we're gonna do our own thing.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
whatever.
Don't put us in the same category.
No,
thank
and
you.
then those two, when I saw they did an interview, it was a split screen with them and then two identical twins.
Okay.
And they were talking about like how people ask, oh, you want to do a three-way, like to the identical twins. She's like, that's like incest and like that's gross. She's like, what? That's inappropriate. You shouldn't be asking those kinds of questions. But that's like where everyone's head goes.
Yeah.
If you think about it, not necessarily with the identical, but more with the conjoined twins.
Yeah.
Like how, like that's the first question that I thought, like, well, how are they having sex? Like
That's literally the second you brought it up and you said, oh, she's married. I was like, pause. How are they having sex?
Yeah. Like, let's
Just
talk about
curious.
it, and it's curiosity.
Maybe
and,
they're not having sex at all.
well, that was what, I think it was Carmen, because she has a boyfriend, but the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
And the other one was like, I'm asexual. Like, so she like doesn't like, it's like whatever for
Yeah.
her. But and then the one that has the boyfriend was like, well, we're not intimate in that way.
Okay.
So, but they're still like, again, they're still young. They're like literal early 20s, 22,
Yeah,
23
yeah,
years
yeah.
old, these other two. So I'm like, maybe that'll change. I don't know. Cause like you have this person that's genuine. It's like they're attached to you.
Yeah, literally.
So like
Literally.
you can't get away from them ever. If
No.
you're fighting with them.
No. If you got the runs, she also got the runs.
Yeah. Imagine pulling each other's hair and you're like grabbing it. Sisters fight. Sisters fight. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like, why'd you stub your toe again?
yeah, stupid bitch. Like, I don't know. So
Oh my gosh.
this one,
we don't give them enough credit. For sure.
no.
Like I spend more than a couple hours with my sister and You know, we finish each other's sentences. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, get out of here. I don't want to look at you anymore. Get out of my face.
Yeah, but if she's like stuck with me forever,
that's a new way of living. That's literally a new way of living.
yeah.
So, and of course, as I'm down the rabbit hole, and I like stumbled onto like all these other conjoined twins. I like stumbled onto. I don't want to say they're the first ones. They're definitely not the first ones, but these twins, they were boys.
Okay.
Chang and Ang Bunker.
Okay.
They were born in Thailand. Now, and here's something that I didn't know. Thailand used to be called Siam. That would like the country.
I didn't know that.
Me neither. But that's where the term Siamese twins came from.
Oh.
And I'm like,
you're like, wait a minute.
So these guys were born in 1811.
Okay.
And the way that they were conjoined at the chest. So like if they had been born like now, it was like their chest fibers or whatever, like their rib cages. And I guess they shared like part of the liver. So if they were born now, it would have been easily taken care of because, you know, your liver regenerates and you can just cut them away. But back then, you know, in 1811, they didn't. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So they were born in Siam, Thailand, and they came to the United States. And they made their living in the United States by traveling around with freak shows.
Oh, interesting.
Barnum and Bailey Circus. So that's how they made their money.
They're like, might as well just hop right into this.
Yeah, they came. I feel like they were like in their teens, like late teens, early 20s when they came.
I wonder if somebody approached them about that.
Probably.
That's probably
because they had management.
Oh, yeah. They were definitely approached.
They were being exploited, obviously.
Yeah. I was just about to say they were exploited. But
they left their management. They're like, fuck you guys. You're stealing our money. That's essentially what they thought. It was that someone was stealing their money, which they probably were.
Yeah.
And then they decided to go off on their own. And they did like the circus circuit for, I think, like a decade.
Oh, wow.
But then they settled down.
Oh.
And they married 2 sisters.
Oh. Were they Siamese twins as
Nope.
well? Oh, okay. Separate.
They were just regular sisters, not twin sisters. They were regular sisters. And because like the whole topic, this is why I'm bringing this up, of having kids. Like, can they have kids? Obviously, the girls can have kids because they have full reproductive organs.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just like logistics and like kind of finessing, like who, what, like,
Yeah,
what, you know.
Yeah.
But these 2 guys, being their conjoined twin selves, fathered between the 2 of them 21 children.
What?
One of them had 10, the other one had 11.
Are you fucking
21 children
with the same woman? Like,
Well,
there's 2 different ones, but
with their wives.
With their wives.
And here's the best part. The sisters didn't get along.
What?
So they could not live in the same house. So they had to switch off.
No.
Where, like, the guys would go over to
Danielle, you're fucking lying.
3 days on and then 3 days over there. So they had to go back and forth because they didn't like each other.
21 kids. I'm sorry. I need to backtrack. 21 children?
We think about it now.
They each had their own penis?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They were only attached right here.
Oh, gotcha.
Like literally, they could have been cut in half. And they would have been totally fine. But they had their own arms and legs.
Wow.
As I'm like, legs and arms.
Literally. Wow.
So yeah.
21 kids. And they were sisters. Not even sister-in-laws, but sisters, and they hated each other. Couldn't live in the same.
Well, they were actual sisters and sisters-in-law because like
technically, yes.
They were married to brothers.
Yeah.
Bitch.
I feel like there's like a level of like incest there, but continue.
Well, I mean, no, because here's the thing.
So the other one keeps their pants on and is reading a book while the other one's having sex. Because they couldn't have a foursome.
No, because they didn't like each other.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because they didn't like each other. So they couldn't even, Wow. Do you think it was a competition? Like, oh,
Maybe.
You had 10, we're going to have 11.
Maybe.
That is fucking hilarious.
It's kind of crazy. And they lived to be 62 is when they died, which is like relatively young, but like in the 1800s,
yeah, but I was going to say,
maybe
but
not.
back then was...
was it 1874 74. I can't with
No,
the math. I think
even
they're
the
born
life
in
expectancy
1811.
now is like 75.
Yes. So here's the thing. One of them died and like had a stroke in his sleep. The other one woke up, noticed that he was dead, and called the doctor to try to like emergency separate them. But the other one died before the doctor could get there.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that just made me so sad. That's
So
terrible.
They died on the same day.
Yeah.
Like one woke up and was like, oh shit, doctor. But again, this is like in the 1870s.
Yeah.
They're, with their little horse and buggy.
Yeah.
Trying to get there as fast as
walking
they
there
could.
with a fucking chainsaw. Not even, they didn't have chainsaws back then.
I'm not sure.
Zoop, 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 zoop.
Yeah, I don't know. Again,
Plot
if
twist,
they
it's
were
cake. Sorry.
not the cake twins.
Sorry.
Plot twist is cake.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Intrusive thoughts.
So with all this talk, and I don't know, this is probably going to be a pretty crass segue into the next topic. So you're talking about these conjoined twins, essentially like ignoring their partner or their sister when they're having sex, or ignoring their brother when the other one's having sex. Like,
Yeah.
Can you ignore that?
I just don't think that you can ignore it. I mean, I don't know. I've never met anybody in this type of situation or ever thought of this situation until now. There's no way. If you share feelings, you have your own brain, but she said, one had endometriosis and the other one definitely felt it. So Brittany and Abby definitely, they don't even have their own arms. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's like they definitely feel everything that the other one's feeling.
1 million. That's what I'm thinking.
I think there's just like this, it has to be a mutual agreement, or they're just not having sex. Maybe the other one gets drunk, but then the other one's going to be drunk.
Yeah, because they share the same
I never
blood.
thought about that.
They
It's
have
like,
the
hey,
same
I want to
blood.
go out. It's like, I don't want to go out.
They share the same bloodstream.
Right.
Like,
So that's what I'm saying.
Their
So,
blood
like,
is
imagine-
pumping through their body. Like,
So imagine the other one's like, I want to stay home and read a book. And the other one's like, no, I'm going out.
they
She's
put
like,
their-
great,
they
now I
put
got to
their
get drunk.
noise canceling headphones in.
Yeah, but then she has to get drunk.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And if the other one's hungover, the other one's going to be hungover. And she's like, oh, I just wanted to stay home and read my book.
There was one, obviously people are rude. I mean, we're a little rude. I feel like we're trying to be as sensitive as we possibly can, but while still being curious. The people are like, well, what if you just like sedate one of them?
Okay, that is terrible.
While you're having sex. And like, I think it was like a doctor that was like, how unethical is that? Like, you're going to drug your, like, what are you?
Drug your sister.
what
Also,
are you
you
talking
would
about?
also be drugged. You share the
A
same
bloodstream.
bloodstream. You fucking idiot.
Unless it's like that thing that you breathe in.
No.
What's that called?
Like
Ethanol?
Like the laughing gas?
Yeah, because it goes to your brain.
You're asking the wrong fucking person, bitch.
Right?
I don't fucking know. But yeah, no, they feel everything 100%. I feel like they're not answering our question because they're like, haha, you fucking idiots. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, of course we feel the
Yeah.
same thing. Maybe they just put like a bag over the other one's head. Don't watch. Like little eye covers and earplugs. I think what we want to know is the details. That's the problem.
Of course. And does that make us bad people? No.
I think that just makes us human.
It just makes us curious people. Yes.
Mhm. Curious humans.
Yeah. Well, and if they're a throuple, maybe they're doing like the whole threesome thing. Which,
I mean, I feel like it's that whether they like it or not. Like, we can say it's not, but it is.
yeah, I have like too many, like,
So many
my
questions.
brain, like
I
the more and more
can't,
that
like,
I watch, I'm
The
like,
more and more you say things, I'm like, wait, what about that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of questions that I have.
oh, actually going back to,
Like, is one more athletic than the other? Can you play sports? Like, if one has the other, like, if you're a baseball player, right? Like, she's a good catcher, but you're terrible at pitching. You know what I mean? Like, I have questions. Like, what sport? The tennis might be fucking fire, actually.
oh, oddly, no, I don't even know if this is odd. They only get paid one salary,
But they're two social securities.
but they technically they do the work of only one person.
I think there is a lawsuit right there.
Well, they're trying to.
Because then do they get taxed as one person?
Nah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
they didn't
I
get
feel
into
like
that.
this. There's a lawyer out there that would eat this up.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, give it to
because,
me.
like,
Hand it to me.
Yeah, because like they're only getting paid one salary because
What's their job?
they're school teachers.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I don't know what anyone else. Well, and we know the freak show people. I don't
Mhm.
actually know what Lupita and Carmen do. I don't know if they're working. That's
I
something I would
know.
have to research. Because like again, they were like a little side tour on my
Mhm.
like rabbit hole
Yeah.
of Abby and Brittany, and I'm like, that's not fair. They have two heads, so like if one's teaching, one can be like watching.
Yeah,
you have 4
literally.
sets of eyes
Yeah.
on these kids.
So actually, they should be paid double.
I wonder if the kids like are
Did they get 2 degrees?
yes.
So then they should.
They paid 2 college tuitions.
Oh yeah, I think there's a nice fat lawsuit right there. I would. 100%. If there's 2 degrees, 2 of everything, but then you're gonna give me 1 salary. I think that's odd.
Well, because
I
they
think
can't be
that's
at
really-
2 places at once. I don't know if we
Yeah,
should
but you
keep
know how sometimes there's a teacher and then there's like an assistant teacher.
a TA,
Yeah.
but they can't do separate things. They have to be together.
Yeah, but the other one can. I don't know. I have questions. I have more questions now.
Yeah, like how my brain just keeps going to like, okay, so they can't be separated, but like maybe in the future they could be separated because robot bodies.
They take their heads and put them on robot bodies. Imagine the level of freedom for one of them to have their own body for the first time ever.
I don't know if it would be okay. Like it would be okay.
No, but I'm saying just like hypothetically speaking.
Yeah, like think about having somebody attached to you for
That's what I'm
Yeah, for
saying.
your whole life.
I'm saying like the level of freedom that you would feel that one
Would
of these girls
would it be
feel.
okay? Would it be okay with them? Like, would you feel okay?
I think they would lose their shit. I think they would go crazy. I think they would go crazy and like in a way that was like, I'm going to try everything now. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess they kind of try everything now too, but I don't know. Can I see a picture of them?
Let's see. Ooh.
Okay, I've seen them before. They're like really close in proximity.
Yeah, their heads are on the same shoulders.
I didn't realize just how close they were. I don't know why I thought there would be like a little bit of more space in between them.
Actually, I'll show you Lupita and Carmen because they're different. They look different. They're I think they're more of what you would think. Hello, I know how to spell.
Because like for Abby and Brittany, like they're not even just attached to you. They're literally right here.
Oh, here
like cheek to cheek. We're talking cheek to cheek.
Yeah, they're really close here. I just found Lupita.
Like if she's eating something that the other one doesn't like the smell of, tough tits.
Okay, so there's Lupita and Carmen. That's their Instagram.
Oh, okay. See, there's a lot of space in between their faces.
Yeah.
And they also don't look the same. They look different. Yeah, see, this is like a lot of space. The other ones, they don't got space.
Yeah, no, there's no space.
There's no space.
But I'm assuming they had to do all the same things that Abby and Brittany do, like get their own licenses and like all that. I think they had to have like special clothes made, right?
Oh, for sure. You have to.
No, not these girls at the Hooters.
What?
Stop it. Look at they're at the Hooters. Fucking living their best life.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's okay. Got it. Wait, so what if like one wants to wear something and the other one doesn't want to wear that? You have to be in agreement with each other, like for real, for real.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they start fighting?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to wear that. There has to be a level of compromise. There's got to be like okay, today I'm choosing the outfit, tomorrow you can choose the outfit.
Maybe. I don't really know how this works.
Like they should have their own podcast. I'd listen to it.
Maybe they have one.
We should.
They definitely have. They definitely have their own TikTok and their own Instagram.
I wouldn't be surprised
if they're in Connecticut. I would love to talk to them.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually. I would be very respectful.
Yeah,
100%,
and not exploitative.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I talk?
I just have
Am
questions.
I okay? Well, I'm not even sure if we should keep going because my original plan was, I guess, to be a little bit less nuanced, I guess is the best word, because we were talking about how they honeymoon, since one of them got married and the other one technically didn't, but how you guys are having sex. Then I was going to kind of transition into the whole threesome talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that would be a little bit too insensitive or if I should just go for it.
I feel like that might be a little too insensitive.
So we can,
at this moment,
we can save the threesome
talk for later,
for next time.
Because I feel like everything we've said so far is a bit insensitive. Let's not push
it a little bit more.
Let's not throw it over the edge.
All right. So I think that, that's kind of all I have for this episode. This is something that I wanted to talk about.
I also didn't know that this, would I call him a pair?
What pair?
Lupita and
yeah.
Carmen. I didn't even know that they were from Connecticut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's because I just happened to stumble upon that when I was looking at the conjoined twins they're from Minnesota, Abby and Brittany. Yeah. I was looking at that, but then as you go, I really, on a total, not side note, but total side note, I hope they don't get rid of TikTok because I have learned so much in my time on TikTok.
I think they
can't
are
even
going to
tell
get TikTok doesn't need America, so I think they're. But what did he say? He's like, I'll get rid of it in America before I sell it. And they already have all of our information. They don't need us.
That's what I get really the most upset about is that they're basing this. We can't have TikTok because it's a Chinese-owned company when that's just simply not the truth.
No, we can't have TikTok because you should look into this because I personally did my own research and everybody that I talked to is it's proven that they are literally taking all this information. They don't just do it to America. India, TikTok's banned because of that. Mm-hmm. They've literally banned it. China fucking bugged. They're taking over Africa now. They're going to be like, oh, you need infrastructure? Let's build it for you. And they're bugging everything.
But that's different than having an app.
No, what I'm saying is that China likes to take information. They want all of the information.
Okay, but hear me out here. Do you think China's the only nation that is doing that?
No, everybody does that. But I think through this app is the easiest way they've done it.
I think that Facebook, Meta, voluntarily sells our shit to them. Yes. So it's the same thing.
Not really, though, because they have someone to answer to. TikTok doesn't. TikTok has no one to answer to, as where Meta actually has to answer to the government. There's a level. So if Meta is selling any information, it's to our government, as where China can sell it to whoever the fuck they want because they're not answering to anyone. There's no one that TikTok's answering to, as where Meta has someone to answer to. I think that's the level of how far does this go? That's why no government official is allowed to have TikTok. That it's banned in so many countries because of that. Like India, you're not allowed to have TikTok in India. It's been banned in India. Something you should definitely look into.
I think I need to look into this more because everything that I hear is not.
It's probably on TikTok.
Not only that. I don't trust going. I'm not going to listen to the news. I'm going to listen to Fox. No. I'm not doing that.
No. I'll find some reliable
where are
news.
declassified documents? That's what I want to read. Does the CIA have any of that shit declassified? Yeah. Because I would go read that because I would believe that.
Yeah, that I would believe too.
That I don't even know because there's so much misinformation out there.
Yeah. But I don't think that they would go all the way as to ban TikTok in the U.S. for shits and giggles. There's a reason.
Well, I think it's more that it's a platform where everybody can band together. And you notice, if you're looking at just this block Blockout of 2024, Kim Kardashian already lost 3 million followers.
Oh, wow.
Like when you have a community that bands together for a certain reason, it does work. And like you can't do that with any of the meta platforms because there's the fact checking, they suppress shit, whereas this one does not. So there's more free, I guess, speech.
Well, that's where it also gets really, really scary because you have a lot of people who are misinformed, spewing shit out there. And where do you think conspiracy theories come from? I mean, I love conspiracy theories.
Yeah, those are a little bit fun though.
They are a little bit fun, but you have anybody can say whatever the fuck they want on these platforms. There's nothing. There's no fact checking. There's no one to answer to. So yeah, I can go on there and start spewing something out. One person's going to believe it, and then all of a sudden it becomes like a whole thing. So it is a little scary.
Well,
right?
I think using critical thinking, using your brain, like you kind of learn who the credible sources are
For
and
sure.
who is not. But I mean, that's because I actually am like, that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
like,
gonna
you
go
look
with
like
that.
a fucking idiot. I'm not going to listen to
But
you.
there's actually one creator that I love. Her name is Madeline Pendleton, and she has a podcast called, what is it? Pick Me Up, I'm Scared.
What was the one that just mysteriously died?
Kyle Marissa Roth.
Yeah, that was scary.
All that girl did was read blind items.
That's literally
That was
all she
her
did.
entire platform.
Yeah.
And she came for J-Lo.
And that's when.
And apparently J-Lo, I mean, this is all alleged.
Well, look at that. Just like how like the whole Diddy thing just disappeared.
Did it?
I don't see anything about it anymore.
Well, J-Lo apparently was
once
threatening her.
J-Lo was like being put into the mix with Diddy, all of a sudden it disappeared.
Careful, J-Lo. People are coming for you. Actually, anybody that talked about her on the platform, especially about her movie, like, was it a movie, a documentary? I don't even know what the fuck it was. That she spent $20 million of her own money on.
That's disgusting.
Because nobody wanted to fund it and nobody wanted to be in it. It was like this whole thing.
Because nobody likes her.
Because she's terrible. So anybody that talks about her, she gets their accounts banned. That's what happened to Kyle Marissa Roth. Her account got banned. She had like over 700,000 followers. Got banned. She had to start over.
Wow.
With a whole new. And she had colon cancer, I think it was. And she was saying before she died, she said something like, she's like, I was going to use the money that I was from my platforms to get my, to get my medication, to get her, whatever it was that she needed to get to like help her. She goes, so if I die of colon cancer, it's on J-Lo. Literally, it's on her page that she said that. And you're like,
oh, yikes.
And then literally like a week later, she's dead. So
awkward.
And so
may she rest in peace.
Yeah, she was one of my favorites.
Yeah, she was great. And I had just started getting into her page too. I was like, this woman's awesome.
She does deep dives. I don't know if we can still, like, she had a Patreon where she did deep dives on a bunch of people.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I don't want to do Patreon. I'll just stick with TikTok. But like, maybe I just will go and look at and see like what she
see what was in there.
See what she did
in her files.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
this is a short one today, guys. I think I want to know what everyone wants to hear about.
Yeah, I actually have a couple of ideas on episodes that I want to talk about.
Oh, perfect.
We could put it in our notes.
We haven't updated our notes since like
a million years ago.
It's literally mid-May.
Yeah. Well, we're busy girls.
Maybe we should sit and talk about that. We have time.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for joining us for another episode. I hope you found this as informative as I did when I was going through my rabbit hole of shit on conjoined twins. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials on the dl.pod on Instagram and on TikTok. And then we are also on YouTube. All of our full episodes are up. And there's like bonus things of us acting like idiots,
like
which is
stupid people.
But we're fun.
Yeah.
And
come watch us. Come listen to us.
Also, make sure you subscribe. It really does help.
Yes. Subscribe to our YouTube because that's where it's so funny because like the most feedback I get from people is like, I love the YouTubes. So because
you get to see us. We're animated.
Yeah.
But also if you subscribe to on Apple Music or on Spotify, it does help us, and rate us if you can, because when you start searching for On the DL, we're like now the first one.
Yeah. On
the first page when it says On the
and
DL,
you can
which is pretty cool.
Find us.
Yes. So follow, like, subscribe.
And until next time.
Bye.
Bye.